Alright, what is up guys? Brian here, and this is my WWE Monday Night Raw and SmackDown Live review for this past Monday's episode of Raw, as well as last night's episode of SmackDown Live. Hopefully everybody had a safe and a fun and safe 4th of July yesterday. So let's get right into the review. There were four things for each, there was like a couple of things for each show. We are starting off with Raw from Monday. Of course, Monday's Raw was the go-home show before this Sunday's Great Balls of Fire pay-per-view event. Looking at my notes here, for Raw, the opening segment between Enzo and basically the stuff that started off Raw with Enzo and Big Cass going into their match coming up on Sunday was very good stuff. Enzo coming out, cutting a promo about him and Big Cass, his history together as a team. He called them, they were like brothers. Basically just a very good promo from Enzo. This past Monday, they then interviewed Big Cass, and he basically just insulted Enzo about, that he's never heard someone do so much talking without saying anything, and not saying anything. Enzo would attack Big Cass, and it got to the point where officials had to stop it. This is they have been doing some very good things with Enzo and Big Cass, splitting them up. I thought last week was very good with teasing a reunion last week, and then Big Cass blindsiding Enzo, and then this week kind of the reverse with Enzo attacking Big Cass backstage. So I thought it was a pretty good thing on opening segment for Raw on Monday. Another thing was Neville, the Cruiserweight Champion. He took on Mustafa Ali, and it was pretty much a different Neville than what we have seen. He has, they made him look more like a tougher. Made him look more tougher than ever before. Of course, Neville has a Cruiserweight title defense coming up on Sunday against Akira Tozawa. That match will take place on the kickoff show. But in this match with Mustafa Ali, basically just Neville destroyed him. Mustafa got some good shots in, but Neville hitting him killing him with a lariat, and then locking in the Rings of Saturn, and that was pretty much it. What else they had? They had the interview segment with Samoa Joe and Universal Champion Brock Lesnar. That was another good thing on Raw Monday night. You had Samoa Joe and Brock Lesnar in two separate areas. Then Samoa Joe would take off would basically just disconnect his microphone and all that stuff, going to look for Brock Lesnar. Kurt Angle and security would be there. He would be like, "Where's Brock? Where's Brock?" And Samoa Joe would go into the room where Brock Lesnar was, but would be stopped before any kind of physical altercation could take place by security. Of course, the way that they've been booking this match coming up on Sunday between these two, I think has been very excellent booking by WWE. I don't know what you guys think, but I think it's pretty good booking the way that they've been booking this match and the build-up for this matchup. And then the final segment of Raw with Braun Strowman and Roman Reigns. Of course, this Sunday, these two have an ambulance match. You had Braun Strowman versus Apollo Crews. Braun Strowman beat Apollo Crews, then would put him in the back of an ambulance, and then pretty much would shut the ambulance doors, would like pound on the ambulance to go, to drive off. The ambulance would not go anywhere. Strowman looked confused. He would go towards the driver's side, open the door, and Roman Reigns would just pop up out of nowhere, out of the driver's side. They would start fighting. They would end up on the stage. Roman Reigns would then hit a spear onto Braun Strowman off this stage through tables. Raw basically ended with Strowman standing to his feet, and Roman Reigns as well, on his knees, getting to his knees. Obviously, Strowman with standing up on his feet is sending a clear-cut message to Roman Reigns saying, you know what, it's going to take, what's it going to take to put Strowman down. So I'm looking forward to this matchup on Sunday to see how that ends and what's going to happen. But yeah, those were pretty much the four things that I thought were pretty good about Raw. There was some other stuff, but those were basically the four things that were pretty good about Raw. Moving to SmackDown, there were a couple of, last night there were a couple of things that I took away from SmackDown from last night. One was the return of free agent John Cena, who would come out, cut a promo about yesterday being July 4th, Independence Day. He would then, basically start talking about how, there's a lot of people, a lot of wrestlers saying, that he's a part-timer, that he's Mr. Hollywood and all this other stuff. He went on to say that he's not a part-timer, he's an all-timer, and basically you can line him up and he will knock them all down. We also saw the return of Rusev. Rusev would come out to interrupt John Cena, basically cutting an un-American promo, saying, America's Independence Day is, Americans sitting on their butt, stuffing their faces full of hot dogs and hamburgers. He would then make reference to how in Bulgaria's Independence Day, his country would, they would march and, show they're strong. This would lead to John Cena saying, or challenging Rusev to a flag match. Then later on, Rusev would accept, but he said it would be on his terms and on his time. Later on in the night, they made it official that at Battleground it will be John Cena versus Rusev in a flag match. So that's another huge matchup for Battleground. They had the SmackDown Women's title match with Naomi defending against Lana. This was pretty much a short match. Naomi beat Lana in looked like a few seconds. She would lock in the submission she does now, and that would finish Lana off. Tamina would come out, and her and Lana would leave the ring together. So what's up with that? What's going on with that situation, with that story? We found out that during a segment with Carmella, the first ever Mrs. Money in the Bank, and James Ellsworth, before that Lana and Naomi match, that was what the segment was. Naomi would come out, basically say she's got an eye on Carmella. Daniel Bryan, the general manager, would come out, basically inform James Ellsworth that he is fining James Ellsworth $10,000, banning him from the arena, and suspending him for 30 days. That if he breaks any of those rules, that he will strip Carmella of that Money in the Bank briefcase. So that was another thing. They did, of course, the Independence Day Battle Royal. That was won by AJ Styles. So AJ Styles will get another opportunity at the United States Championship because that Battle Royal was for the number one contendership to Kevin Owens and the United States Championship. What else? They continued the tease of a feud between Mike Bennett, Kanellis, and between Mike Bennett and Sami Zayn. Renee Young was doing an interview with Mike and Maria Bennett, Kanellis, Bennett, whatever you want to call it. They would then be interrupted by Sami Zayn, who was getting ready for that Battle Royal. He would knock over some equipment. Basically, they've been teasing this since I believe it was either last week or the week before, that Sami Zayn keeps interrupting them and stuff like that. So obviously, this is going to be a feud for Mike Bennett with him and Sami Zayn. They did the teasing of a feud between Baron Corbin and Shinsegae Nakamura. Corbin attacked Nakamura on SmackDown last night, and they kind of got into an altercation. What else? They did more hype, more build up for Randy Orton and Jinder Mahal. Randy Orton was in a match against Aiden English. He kind of lost his. He started getting vicious. He actually got disqualified because he hit Aiden English with the ring steps. Jinder would come out afterwards, cut a promo about how America has disrespected him because of the color of his skin. Randy Orton came and told Jinder, it's not because of the color of your skin that nobody likes you. It's just because, and I'm not going to use profanity here, but you get to, I would recommend checking that promo out. Basically, Randy Orton just said nobody likes Jinder. It's not, no particular reason. Nobody just nobody likes him. So that was pretty interesting. And then, that was pretty much about it. I mean, you had a great match to open SmackDown between AJ Styles and Chad Gable to determine who was going to get into that Battle Royal, that Independence Day Battle Royal. There was a funny segment where Breezango, Tyler Breeze, was in a wig, dressed up looked like a woman, calling himself Tanae Young. He was trying to get Ty Dillinger's strategy for the Battle Royal. And Fandango was dressed up as a construction worker, something like that. So that was pretty funny. That was pretty much about it. I mean, another thing was in that Independence Day Battle Royal, they had Mojo Rawley eliminate Zack Ryder. So that's going to be interesting to see how that plays out. They had that battle rap with Usos and New Day, where at one point the Usos referenced Xavier Woods' leaked sex tape with Paige, saying, the Usos basically said, keep it PG, not rated R like Xavier, like your part to Big E about his partner Xavier Woods being rated R. So that was pretty funny. That was pretty much it. My thoughts on both SmackDown and Raw to wrap up this video. I thought both of the shows were pretty good. If you guys watched both episodes, let me know what you guys thought of it in the comments below. I thought both shows were pretty good. So, with that being said, this has been my review and recap of what took place on Monday's Raw and last night's episode of SmackDown. As always, I am Brian, and thank you for watching.